Hi, and welcome to the Health Begins with Mom show. I am Dorit Palvanov, your host. On this podcast, I will share insights and interviews on health, parenting, and explore the question of what does it take to thrive as women, wives, and mothers. Now, let's get going with today's episode.
Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Health Begins with Mom podcast. This is Dorit Palvanov, your host. And for those of you who don't know me, I am a children and women's health coach, and I help mothers and fathers feed their children with love and good sense. I have an online program. It's called Teach Your Kids to Eat Vegetables. And then I have a year-long mastermind for moms. It's called Thriving Mama. So for those of you who are interested in more details and more information, you're always welcome to send me an email at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com, or you can also find me on Facebook. I go under Dorit Palvanov. All right. Today, I'm actually, you can hear my car, the engine. I just finished my yoga class, and I was so inspired to share what I've learned with all of you, and so I decided, to compromise a little bit the quality of the sound. Hopefully you can still hear me, and just share what is going on for me. So I started my yoga practice about 2.5 years ago. And you know what? It's so funny because I never planned on taking yoga classes. For me, this was like, yoga was always positioned as something hard, as something you need to be super flexible in order to take and, stick with it. And so I basically didn't do it. I just avoided these classes, even though I was already a member at the gym. And but the thing is, I suffered through the other fitness classes at the gym or the community center or whatever. And I thought, you know what? That's probably how it's supposed to be. If I want to be fit and in good shape, I have to sort of suffer through fitness, but I still have to do them because there's no other way. And, this podcast is all about figuring out how we can thrive as women, as wives, and as mothers. And part of this is because I am really committed to finding the way how we can not only survive and exist in the world, but actually how to thrive in this time of our lives. And so, obviously, back then, when I had these thoughts, I didn't think that way. So I was convinced that that's how it is. Suck it up, keep going. But now, this new world has opened for me. This new world of yoga. And I am I'm so surprised. And the reason why I'm so surprised is because, when I started going to yoga, it was like my mind, my brain, here's the conversation I had internally. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, I couldn't care less. Oh, headstands? Are you kidding me? This is I would never be able to do that. I'm only here for the meditation. I'm only here just to recenter myself after a crazy day or a crazy week. I'm only. But I still kept showing up. I still kept coming. I still I am and I was very consistent with the classes, and this is so, at least the way I used to identify myself, and I still identify myself with something, this is not how how I used to identify myself. Like the internal voice and the conversation that I have and I had in my mind is, I am not a person that is good at sticking at things. I'm not good at committing. I am not a flexible person. I am not da-da-da-da-da. And then, today in the class, the teacher prompted us, like through the entire class, she prepared us for a headstand. And from the beginning of the class, the moment she said, our hardest pose today will be a headstand, to practice a headstand, immediately I said, oh, I can't do that. Okay, I'll just do something else. And so we are progressing with the classes. The class goes on, and then it's time to try. It's time to practice. And I see women, most women don't do it, and then there was one who does it. And she and I started these classes around the same time, and I see her doing it, and then there was some internal voice in me saying, why don't you try? Like, just try. And I did it. I tried, and I actually did a headstand. Yes, me, Dorit Solonov. The woman who never thought I would be able to do that. I am not a flexible person. I have a weak core. That's the conversation, and that's how I identify myself with. And yet, I'm able to do a headstand that requires all of the above, and then it hits me in that moment. What if this conversation that I have, and I know you have as well in your head, is a huge bunch of BS? We are consistently lying to ourselves, consistently identifying ourselves with something that is less us, and we're actually believing ourselves. We're actually playing small as a result. So I guess the point that I'm trying to explain here is that what if throughout this whole process of becoming a mother and also raising ourselves, not only our children, we are actually learning about our true selves? What if we don't really know ourselves? What if the way we identify ourselves is just a huge bunch of baloney? Because here, I am a living example. I never thought I would do a headstand, or I never thought I would be able to do even a tree pose, And you know how all these yoga teachers, the crazy yogis, they're doing it so beautifully, and for 2 years, I would just come to the class sometimes just to admire them. And it's so funny because I remember when before I became a mom, one of the things that I used to love is salsa. So I used to love this dance. I still love the music, and the intro is still salsa for this podcast because I am really passionate about this. And I remember I decided, I committed with my girlfriend. It's way before I met my husband. We just wanted to take those classes. We just wanted to go and dance, and it wasn't any classes. It's just a salsa club. We just wanted to go there, hear the music, and see how people dance. And I remember in the beginning how I told myself, you know what, if you really want to learn, first you have to dance with the really sucky dancers and the ugly ones also. And eventually it will come. And you know what, after a year and a half, here I was dancing and making these crazy moves. Like, I would twist, like I would be able to twist and turn and do these crazy things and moves. And yet a year and a half ago, I was just one to watch people, watch the pros, watch the experts from the side, and just admire and be jealous of them. So what if all this and the voice that we do need to cultivate and practice in our head is actually to just be patient and just keep going and just keep practicing? What wife, being an amazing mother, being an amazing businesswoman, whatever it is that you want to achieve, all you need to do is just stick with it, just to stay consistent. I think I heard it on one of the podcasts, this term that is called holy consistency. And it's so true, because at the end of the day, guys, it's all about staying consistent, keep trying, keep pushing, and not in a way that is really hard on ourselves or in a way that is cultivating this self-loathing. No, I want this to be in a way that is compassionate, kind, super sweet to ourselves, and from that place, you're bringing yourself up. And at the end of the day, that's what we need in order to thrive. If we are struggling with losing weight or just changing the way we eat, you will never be able to do that in a month or two. This has got to be a lifestyle change. And in order to make something a lifestyle change, it has to be long term. You have to look at this beyond, a month to 6 months or even a year. And it has to be done slowly, progressively. And it has to be done with help. You do need to ask for help. You do need a mentor. You do need someone to guide you, to show you the way. You need that person that you can always go back to and ask, how can I push through this resistance? I have this resistance. It's showing up, whether it is with the way you eat or whether it is with the way you parent. For me, for example, one of my hardest challenges, and that's the reason why I created my Teach Your Kids to Eat Vegetables online program, which is my feeding program. I created this because of my struggle with my daughter, and because of the way I didn't know how I'm going to solve it, but I knew that I don't want it. Like, I don't want this or whatever situation was showing up for us in the past. And so there is this ache inside of you that is telling you, I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to parent like this. I don't want to show up as a wife this way. I know I'm capable of doing more. And this is the voice of this inner wise mother inside each and every one of us that is guiding us, that is whispering sometimes her voice is very quiet, but yet it's still there. And that's the voice that is guiding us. That's the voice that is still guiding me every single time I'm so tired and lazy to show up for these yoga classes. But it's still there, and it's whispering to me, Dorit, you need to go. If you don't go to these classes, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna be an awful mother. You're gonna be an awful wife. You won't be able to show up in your business and serve your clients. You need this. You need this. And so I listen. I listen to my inner wise mother, and I just follow through. And this is, for me, this is one of my biggest aspirations as a mother. I want to mother myself this way, and I want to pass this on to my children, to my girls. So anyways, that was a little nugget of wisdom, guys. Keep going. Keep showing up. Stay consistent. Ask for help. Reach out for help, and listen to the inner wise mother inside of you. And so if you have any questions, as always, you can email me. You can find me at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com, or you can also find me on Facebook. I go under Dorit Palvanov. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Health Begins with Mom show. I love hearing from you, so please post your comments and questions over at healthbeginswithmom.com/podcast. If you love the show, please share it on social media and in your real life with other moms who might enjoy this content. And if you have a burning question or topic you'd like me to hit on the show, just drop me a line at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And if you love this show and really want to support it, please go to iTunes, write a review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Much love and many blessings.